Hey everyone, this is a clip from a recent episode of the Men of Steel podcast where we talk about Superman and Superman adjacent topics. If you enjoy this clip, check out the podcast. You can find it at certainpov.com or wherever you get your shows. Yeah, so rather than doing 4 Supermen and we don't know which one, they just do a clone. They do a single clone, and it's not a Bizarro. It's not. I was wondering if it was going to be Cyborg. Like, I was like, well, maybe they're not doing all of it, but they're still doing the Cyborg Superman, which fuck, they could have still. Like, yeah. it's not too far afield from it. But no, it's actually just a straightforward clone who wants to be good, doesn't know how properly, has been programmed with some really fucked up shit, and then that becomes the actual plot of the movie, where it's like this Superman who doesn't have these like human touchstones, like getting worse.
Yeah, you could make the argument that he's a baby. He literally, he could go either way. Depending on that, that's where the real story lies.
Yeah. Right. And that's actually gets to the biggest complaint I have in this, because I think that overall, I think that the animation's pretty good. I think the art style is far enough from the Dini style that it wasn't as for me at least, it wasn't as distracting as like Brainiac Attacks, where it's all the Dini style, but all the voices are wrong and the animation doesn't look as good, but it like still has all the style of it. Like, this was better, and like the stunt casting was all fine, I think, but
and Hitch for Dana Delaney is not a fair trade.
It's not a fair trade because she was like capital A acting. She was like, I'm going to prove that Lois Lane can be a dramatic character, and that she didn't.
Adam Baldwin for Superman wasn't a good fit either, because he comes off as extremely monotone in a lot of those scenes.
Oh, see, I like him in this. But then again, I was never a big Tim Daly fan, so I mean, I'm prejudiced in that, but. But I mean, the Dana Delaney one feels insulting simply because Dana Delaney has always been a bigger actress than Anne Heche. Like, has more credits, has more marquee value. And also because she's possibly the greatest Lois Lane we've ever had in live action or animation.
Yeah, like full stop, greatest Lois Lane we've ever had. And like, obviously, like we're not dealing with anywhere near as strong any of the supporting cast, like just across the board. It's just not doing it as well as the animated series.
I will die on that hill. I will stand by it.
But getting to like my actual concern about this, it's that the end of the movie doesn't have, like, I feel like the movie had like such an obvious way to make it all fit together really well, which is just have Doomsday show up again for Act 3, and instead Superman kills the clone, and that's presented as a good thing. And I'm like, no, wait, because the clone's a fucking baby. Like you said, like the clone morally comes off as being like still able to learn. And I don't feel like the clone has actually crossed a line that cannot come back from. Like, it's certainly like, it kills Toyman. Like, it's certainly like grimmer than a Superman should be. But it felt like a character that still could learn to be good, or at the very least, like, repent. It didn't feel like it didn't feel like a character who couldn't come back from the line it had crossed, because the line it had crossed was one where it was like trying to do right and it fucked up. But the fact that it's just like, yeah, no, Superman kills him, and like, I mean, Superman's first response when he actually like approaches the clone is to just shoot him with a gun, and like there's way less like, there's no like trying to talk him down, there's no trying to like explain how to help people. I like the idea of Superman having to like fight his like stronger clone self. It felt very much like Samus in Metroid Fusion against the SAX. Like it's just like, oh yeah, this is you at your prime against you now. Like, felt like a classic kind of story to do. But then it's just like, oh yeah, the clone is dying, and like he's like whispers, protect them, indicating that he still actually like has that same good motive that pushed him too far in the, like whatever his like tragic flaw was is still there, but it's, there's a reason why we like him, which is that he wanted to do good. And it's like, why did the writers not give them a common foe for him to give his life for, so that we could be sad that this clone gave his life to protect people?
Really wanted to have Bizarro.
Well, I did really like, again, the identity crisis of episode of Superman the animated series is really good. It's a gut punch where he's like, Superman saved Lois, and he like gives his life, obviously comes back, but like he like in the episode like appears to kill or to die to save everyone else. And I feel like that's what they should have done for this clone. Like, and the easy one is like have Doomsday come back for Act 3, where they have to like team up, and like the clone who we fought Superman, like keep that, but the clone like realizes, oh fuck, I've been going too far, and like I said, like gives his life, and then you can have this like kind of sad moment at the end. But they don't have that. There's no the movie constantly is being like, Superman's right and any other way is wrong, and they don't do the work to explain why.
Yeah, they don't interrogate it.
Remember, if you like the clip, after you're done liking and subscribing, check out certainpov.com, where you can find more episodes of the show, as well as a ton of other great shows.